Of course I'm tired of hearing about lowering the hoop, if a high school boys team could beat us 5-on-5.
Oh my God, I hate when people just constantly ask about dunking. Like, if I dunk, it's gonna make me a millionaire.
If that particular person I'm talking to wants to play me one-on-one.
For you to sit down and write a direct message or to come to my page and talk negatively about me and my, like, that's just like, I'm sorry where you grew up.
Why are you comparing us all the time?
Like, no, like, you don't have to ask me that question. Can you dunk? Yes, I can dunk on you. What's good?
But male sports is kind of this like standard, this bar, and so everything is just compared to it. And we just can't be like great in our own right.
You know, I grew up in Chicagoland area, and the Bulls were everything. I would go out in the driveway, and I would shoot like MJ, and I would defend like Ron Harper and BJ Armstrong, and just try to be like all of them. And then when I was 11 years old, the WNBA started.
Festive atmosphere here in Los Angeles. It is a sellout and then some. All of them here to witness the latest chapter in the history of women's sports, the debut of the WNBA. It's a marquee.
I always tell this story. I remember the August Olympics. It was 08, 08, 08, and that was my birthday. So I had like an Olympic-themed birthday party, like everyone was tuned in. And I just remember watching that Olympic team, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these women are badasses.
Being able to see somebody that looks like you inspires you. And if you can do that, then you're gonna have something that's around for a really, really long time.
Crosses over to the rack with a scoop layup, up and in. Oh my, there's a bird in the house.
What do you think is the most important thing that happened today?
It wasn't the prettiest of basketball games, but I think we showed a little bit of what we can do. We got a great crowd out here, and it's only gonna get better.
We are dedicating this season to Breonna Taylor, an outstanding EMT who was murdered over 130 days ago in her home.
You know, we've been not just athletes for a very long time.
I don't think it's any surprise that what's happening in our country, again, is mirroring what's happening in sports and vice versa. We can probably pull, 3 of the biggest issues we have in our society right off the bat, right? Racism, sexism, homophobia. What is the WNBA made up of?
We're a league that's the majority of the minority. We're 80% African American, LGBTQ. We are what everybody doesn't like in this country.
We're trying to stop it now. Like, we're trying to get involved now, get our communities involved, vote, not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. And it's hard because, of course, you still have to do your job on the court. You still have to be there, but sometimes enough is enough.
And now it's no longer okay to ignore these issues. You get called out on it. And so with that, the momentum is starting to build. People are starting to support our league and other women in other facets of life.
It's just crazy to just think about how far we really came within a year. Like, that bubble helped us out so much. I mean, it got a whole seat flipped in Georgia. And that's the W. Like, we're not new to this, we're true to this. Like, we've been doing this. Like, just late to the party. Like, W has always been the forefront of it.
So we're used to it. Like, we're cool being hated on. That's fine. We're gonna continue to go and build and get stronger because we believe in this.
If I have a platform that I can use, whether it's Twitter or whether it's playing on ESPN, then I'm gonna use it. So I'm just happy that I could be a part of a league that allows me to do it.
I don't think it's naive to ask that question now. I think that's the question every business has to ask. Like, where are we going?
I think the story of the WNBA is that 25 years in, you're right, we don't have the revenue. We haven't been able to turn that corner, and yet we're still here.
I think back then it was so hard to watch a WNBA game. Like, you didn't know if it was on. If it was on, it was hard to get to it.
And if we continue to try to measure ourselves equal to leagues that have been around for 75, 80, almost 100 years, we're gonna continue to fail in the eyes of the people that are comparing those two.
And I think that's where we are right now. We're slowly starting to build that respect of people that's like, hey, these women are good at what they do, but at the same time, they're so much bigger than basketball. They're so unified in their communities. I think just later on down the road, that respect is gonna be like second nature. Like, it's gonna be no more get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Like, no, we're here to hoop. Like, we're here, we put in the work in and we're gonna get it done.
I think the best thing about our league and the reason why it's in the position that it's in has been because everybody has kind of taken the baton and carried it forward.
That's our league. Like, we're so unified and we want each other to be so successful and just have fun with it, that we really look out for one another. And it's really truly like a sisterhood.
The talent that's coming up, the way that they play the game, and the opportunity that they're able to have because of the people that came before us, the next 25 years is going to be really promising and some really good basketball.
The story is that we've gotten to this point without the investment that other sports leagues have had. We've hung on for these 25 years. So imagine we have it. That's what I see in the next 25 years. You kick that investment in and things just continue to grow.